Hi guys, welcome to my channel. It is finally here and today I finally plucked up the courage to get started. Everything went wrong, everything. But we're here, we did it. I've done my first video and I've created this look. I hope you love it as much as I do. If you want to see how I did it, then keep on watching. So I'm starting off with Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Light Sand, and I'm going to use this all over my eyelids as a base for my eyeshadow. You do have to work pretty quickly because it dries very quick. So I'm just patting it down with my finger, making sure it's all set into my lid. So now I'm picking up the Morphe 350 palette. It is a golden oldie and I'm just using a colour that's similar to my lid shade, and I'm just going to pat that down and mattify and set my lid. Then we're going to go in the Carnival XL palette and going to go in this taupey shade and use it to start creating a bit of shape on my eyes. So I'm going to use it as my transition colour to give me a colour to blend the rest of my colours in with. We're now going to go in with a warmer brown and we're going to use this to start creating our shape on the eye. My eyes are a little bit hooded, so I always want to make sure I'm going above the crease. So I will check it when I'm looking forward and making sure that I can see the colour when my eyes are open. And then we're going to go back with our brush from the previous colour and start buffing that out. And then we're going to do the same with the other eye. Start building up that warm colour on the outer V, which is where I want my colour to be the darkest, and then start creating that shape, which is going to give us our guide for the rest of the colours. We're going to go in with the darker brown now, and this is where we really start to define it. I'm always packing on from the outside V where I want it to be the darkest, and then I will start moving the colour from there, and I'll do a little bit on each eye just to make sure that I'm getting it even. And I'm always patting it on. When you pat it on, you're going to get the best colour payoff. So I'm just patting it on, marking out where I want to go, and then I'll go back in with the previous brush to buff it back out with. We're going to go for this really light pale colour, and we're going to put that on the lid, give us the illusion of a bigger, brighter, wider lid space. I'm not worried about being too neat with it. I just want to get it on my lid, and then I'm just going to buff it in with the previous brush. And we're going to go in with the dark and the warm shade and start building up that outer crease and start blending it in to the light, because we don't want it to go from a really dark brown on the outside to bright white. So we're going to build it up gradually. So we're now moving up to the lighter browns and working our way towards the lighter colour, which is going to give us a nice faded effect, so it's not too harsh. Now we're going in with the MAC gel liner. Again, I'm not going to be neat with it. I want to use this product to line my lashes, to give my lashes a little bit of depth, and then we will be smudging it out. So I just want to get it as close to my lash line, and I'm only going in 3/4 of the way in. I don't go in right at the front because I want to keep my eyes looking bright and wide. So I want to concentrate the dark to be on the outside. I'm now getting a smudger brush. I've got nothing on it. I'm literally just working quickly to buff out the gel liner. You have to work pretty quick, otherwise it won't really smudge. So I just want to buff it out as much as I can so it's not a dead straight line. And then I'm going to go in with the black and the warm brown right over the top of that liner just to buff it out and soften it a little bit more. I'm now going to go in with a crease brush with the warm shade just to warm that up a little bit more and blend it into the rest of the eye. And then we're going to repeat the process on the other eye. So again, we're using the buffing brush to buff out the gel liner, just to stop it from being a harsh line. And then dipping into the black and the warm brown, just to buff that out a little bit more. It's a lot more flattering if you have a softer liner on your lashes rather than a harsh line. And then again with the crease brush, now I'm just going in with the warm shade just to warm it up and match it with the rest of the eye colour. Once you've got them both even and you're happy with it, I just get a baby wipe and I wipe underneath my eyes. And then I follow the shape of my eyes and then just bring it up towards the temples. This gives me a really nice clean line. And then I can wipe away any fallout. It just means my base face is going to be really nice and clean. And then I'm going to mix those two highlight colours and highlight underneath my brow bone. This is going to help lift the eye, lift the eyebrows. It's a really good little trick for a youthful look. And then inside the corner of the eyes, this is going to help widen the eyes, brighten them, make them appear larger. Then I'm just buffing it out with my other brush. Moving on to foundation, I mixed both Fenty and EX1. Fenty was a little bit dark, so I wanted the EX1 to lighten the foundation a little bit, but also make it a little bit more manageable. I find Fenty Beauty dries very quickly. You have to work really fast, but by adding this foundation, it just gave me a little bit more time to blend it into my skin. So I'm just going to pat that in all over. I avoid my under eye area because I don't like to have too much products underneath there. I like to keep that space free for my concealer. I'm going to go in with my Tarte Shape Tape again in the same colour, Light Sand. I'm going to go underneath my eyes, the middle of my nose, in between my brows, my chin and the top of my lips. Again, this product dries really quickly, so you do have to work pretty fast at blending it in. So I do have a damp beauty blender, and I just spray it with a little bit of setting spray. we are going to go in with the Chanel bronzer, a golden oldie again. I really love this for bringing a bit of shape back to my face. So I'm just going to use it for contouring, buffing it in underneath my cheekbones, along my temples, and then along my hairline. We're then going to do a little bit down the nose. Just a contour. And then a little bit on the top lip and underneath my bottom lip, just to create a little bit of shadow. And then I'm just going to pat that in. Then I go over with my foundation brush just to smooth out any edges, blend it in to the rest of my face. And then we're going to set with the Laura Mercier translucent powder. I like to use a brush and I like to tap off all the excess. I just use a small amount. So I'm just patting it in underneath my eyes, not rubbing. And then I'll use it in my oily areas. So in between my eyebrows, around the sides of my nose, my mouth and my chin. And then I'll just pat underneath the eyes again, make sure everything is pressed in and set. Then this is a golden oldie. This is a Revolution bronzer, and I really love using a small fan brush just to help accentuate the contour, give my face some definition. I like this bronzer because it's got a real neutral undertone. And then I just use the side of the fan brush just to blend it out on the top of my cheekbones and then anywhere else that I've contoured. And then we're going to go with the MAC Give Me Some bronzer right over the top of my contour and then up a little bit higher on my cheeks. This is going to help blend the contour into the rest of my face and give my skin a little bit of glow. For the brush, I'm using a mix of Melba and Fleur Power, and I'm just going to brush that right over where I've contoured. I'm kind of following that line. I like that lifted look, so I go right on the top of the cheekbones and then just a tiny bit on the apples of my cheeks, just to give the front of my face a flush of colour. And now we've set underneath the eyes, we can go and do a little bit of the eyeshadow underneath. So I always go for the darker colour first, as tight to my lash line as I can get. And then I will go back in with one of the lighter, warmer colours to blend that out. So the saying is, what goes up must come down. But I'm only picking two of those colours just to tie it all together nicely. I'm going in with the Pretty Little Glow highlighter, and it is so powerful. It's a really nice pinky goldeny colour. It's quite a strong highlighter, and then I'm just going to do my forehead, tops of my cheek, my nose and the top of my lips. And then I always go back in with my bronzer brush and just tie it all in together. Didn't wipe my hand, got concealer in my hair, like typical me. So lips, we are going to use the Peaches and Cream Borderline Liner. This is a really nice colour and it's really nice and creamy. And then I just, once I've lined my lips, I just use my fingers to blend it into the rest of my lip. And then I'm using Too Faced Melted Matte Cool Girl all over the lip. I thought this colour really went well with the eyeshadow. I like when colours tie into other colours. I just feel like it gives a really nice, pretty effect to the makeup. And then I just get a little bit of the concealer I used earlier and tap it into the middle of my lips, and then I just use different fingers to blend it out with, just so I don't use the same finger that's got the concealer on because it gets a little bit too much, just to give me a little bit more dimension to the lips so it's not all one colour. Now we're going in with my lashes, my beiges, Opretty lashes, 3D Mink OL1. They are amazing, thick, full and fluffy. Hi guys, so I popped on my lashes. This is the completed look. I hope you guys love it. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. I'm sure there'll be plenty more to come, but I've really enjoyed it and I've finally done it. My first video.